In my presence right here in our Los Angeles studios is Carmelo Anthony. Started with the Knicks for years, started with the Denver Nuggets for years, 10-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA player. Well, last time we saw you in an NBA uniform, you were playing for the Houston Rockets.
Correct.
10 games in, actually recently off a 28-point performance against the Brooklyn Nets. You were basically let go by Daryl Morey and the Houston Rockets.
Correct.
Talk to us about whether or not that's something you expected. Were you surprised by it? Did you have an issue with it?
I was surprised by it big time, right? It went from, oh, this is the piece that we want, this is the piece that we need. Mind you, we've been talking for 3 years, 4 years. They were trying to get me to come to the Houston Rockets, and I finally went there. They finally said, okay, this is the piece that we need. So I get there. And I'm thinking everything is good. Like, I'm doing everything I got to do. I never missed a practice, did all my work. I was, real professional with everybody there. I don't think there's one person there that I could say that I wasn't a professional there. I did what I had to do, did my work. And then the 10th game come, I just didn't understand where that come from, right? I actually reached out to Daryl first and said, can we talk about how can we make this better? What can we do to fix this? What can I do to fix this? But then he had in mind that he wanted to come talk to me too about releasing me and letting me go. So I didn't like how that went down. He came in and he was just like, look, basically your service is no longer needed. And I'm like, hold on, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, nah, things just not working out, and you got to figure out something to do. I'm like, how the hell I'm gonna figure something out to do? I got a game tomorrow. Nah, you're not gonna suit up tomorrow. So then I started taking it even deeper. I'm like, you mean he told me I wasn't gonna make the rotation. I'm like, I can't make a 9-man rotation. That's what you're trying to tell me? I've already started to accept the fact that I got to come off the bench, which was very hard for me. I accepted that, and I moved on from that, right? But you telling me that I can't make a 9, 10-man rotation on this team is deeper than basketball.
So when you say it's deeper than basketball, be specific. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, at my point at that time, that's what I was feeling. Like, yo, this is deeper than basketball. Obviously, this was, I was on a 10-game trial period. Like, this is not something that just happened, right? This is something that's been talked about over these first 10 games of the season. Part of my language, I felt like, shit, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, to sit there across from the GM president, the GM of the team, and him tell you, listen, your services are no longer needed. That was an ego hit. That was a pride hit. Like, I felt like I started questioning myself after that. Like, damn, can I still do this? What did I do? Like, I asked him that, what did I do? Oh, you didn't do anything. It's just not working out.
Explain to me the difference between those emotions that you had departing from Houston and compare it to the emotions you had departing OKC when you were playing with Russell.
Very different.
All right, how
very
is
different.
that?
I've accepted my role in OKC.
Which
was, look, you're going to be I wasn't even the third option, right? I was the fourth option. Steven Adams was the third option. So it was just more of, all right, this is what I have to do. Like, I got out of New York. I'm here on the team that I know we have a shot to win the championship. So amongst us internally, we all felt like that. But it wasn't until after the season when all of this conversation had started, all this talk had started. Oh, would he come back? Would he take a pay cut? Will he come off the bench? None of this stuff was ever discussed with me as far as me coming off the bench. All I needed was somebody to communicate that with me. And I think people was afraid to, like, stand up and communicate that.
But would you have accepted that, Melo? You talk to people around the NBA, they did get the impression that wasn't anything that Carmelo was willing to accept. Your wife, Lala, came on First Take, was like, my husband coming off the bench?
Right, I wasn't willing to accept that because that never was explained to me. If you sat down with me man to man and said, you know what, look, what's best for this team is for you to come off the bench, I probably would have fought it a little bit, but then I'd have stepped away from it and said, you know what, yo, this is what's best for the team, right? I went to Billy Donovan himself and said, what do you need from me? What do I need to do? And he told me, I said, look, thank you, I appreciate it. This is what you're gonna get from me. I really honestly wish the OKC situation would have worked out. I thought it was gonna work out. this was conversations that me, Paul, Russ, we had every single
And why
day.
do you feel it did not work out?
I think it was, again, I think it was bigger than basketball. I think it was a tax situation, right? But I think they knew that of me coming in there. They was trying to get me to kind of revamp my contract. And at that point in time, I just felt like the situation wasn't handled right. I felt like it was just a one-and-done situation in OKC, and I didn't respect that, and I didn't want that. Because I went in there to fight, and I went in there for myself. I went in there for Russ. I went in there for PG, and everybody else that was there. Like, we was on one accord. It was just everything else that was happening.